Shalom. All praises, glory, honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Achakodash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that give us his truth and all his purity. And salutations to all you Akim pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and the truth. I'm the brother Yahweh. And this lesson will be going into this article that came out 2-3 days ago. And pretty much is NASA warning about internet apocalypse due to some solar storms that's happening with the sun. And, I believe this is all a setup, because this is right on time for the elections. And there's a lot going on geopolitically right now all over the world. The main thing happening, which is Iran and Israel going back and forth at it. And, you got Russia and Ukraine going back and forth at it, So this election is the most important election in the history of America. So, it's a lot that's happening leading to that. Just, 2 days ago, it came out that the U.S. military was given the right to shoot American citizens if they deem it worthy so. So pretty much they getting ready for martial law. That's what that means. Now they're telling you that the internet is going to get taken out. So they're all behind that. And then, earlier today, they just said that China and Iran basically had a cyber attack against America. And that's been happening for, the past few years. They've been blaming China and Iran for cyber attacks, So we can see where this is going, man. And the elites, the World Economic Forum, one of their agendas that's on the list is to have an internet apocalypse, because by doing that, they'll be able to disrupt the flow of information. And when they turn it back on, you're going to have to get that chip, that mark of the beast. That's what it's leading to. All right. So it says urgent warning over intense solar storms strong enough to cripple the internet for weeks. So they're going to shut it down and, turn it back on. And most likely you're going to need that ID, that digital ID, which is going to come, of course, it might just come out in the form of you having it on your phone, but eventually it's going to be biometrics. It's going to have to be inserted in you like they're doing over there in, we see how in China, they got the phones, and certain people do already have the chip, but eventually that's their plan for the whole world, not just over here in the West, because even though you got the BRICS nations, which starts with, Russia, Brazil, India, China, South Africa, they're in support of digital currency as well, which shows you that they're nothing but, another leg that the elites control. Because remember, the elites, they always control both sides of the wall, both oppositions, all right? So it says, every 11 years, our sun becomes a chaotic sphere that shoots out huge bursts of energy towards Earth, a period known as the solar maximum. These energy bursts are responsible for the stunning northern lights display we've been treated to in recent months. And just the other day, a week ago or so, week and a half ago, there were northern lights over here on the East Coast. It was a red sky, and I seen it myself, So, it's a lot happening, man. And, we know Esau, he could have control over that too with his space weapons. His, his HARP. They could also control the, what's the word I'm looking for? The electromagnetic fields of the Earth, and it causes northern lights and all of that. So it says, unfortunately, scientists have confirmed that the solar maximum has officially arrived, and it could continue for the next 12 months. So for the next year, we're going to have internet outages, or a great collapse. This is what Esau wants, because he's expecting the chaos so that he can bring the order, which is going to come in the form of martial law, which once again, they passed that bill, that executive order to allow the U.S. military to shoot its U.S. citizens. So it says, so while opportunities to see the aurora will ramp up, so will the chance of a global internet blackout. It says in a teleconference, it says the panel confirmed that the sun has reached its solar maximum period, which could continue for the next year. Yeah, so they're expecting internet outages. And I did some, little bit of research because I remember hearing that majority of the internet connections come from undersea cables, not from satellites. So, I went on Google, and this is what AI says. According to current research, solar storms are not likely to significantly impact undersea internet cables, right? With experts from Google stating that the risk of a large-scale damage from a solar storm to submarine cables is low due to their design and grounding mechanisms, meaning they are considered relatively safe from a solar storm disruptions. So this is what their experts are saying, like, nah, the sun doesn't affect the internet cables because they're underground. Majority of your internet comes from fiber optics, which are undersea. So it's hard for the internet to reach them under the ocean's floors. All right. So they're lying about that, man. Clearly. So it's a setup. So they could cause, probably have an EMP attack, which is going to be from them. They're going to cause it to America, right? Because they've been warning about that as well. EMP attacks, or they could just shut off the internet, have different things happen and then blame it on a solar storm. Because yes, there could be a solar storm possibly, coming. But it's probably most likely not to the extent that Esau is making it seem, So, Esau is going to blame certain events for, certain steps that he's going to make. All right. Just like how over there in North Carolina, how they have this mountain that's full of different minerals and things that's very valuable. They sent that storm over there to get rid of them people so that they could come in the land and, just buy it for cheap, And then they'll say, whoa, we have nothing to do with this. It was the storm. This is how the devil operates, man. And then you'll see other articles saying that they can do catastrophic damage. But if you realize, when I checked the articles, they're recent, right? May 2024, May 2024. And then you got one from 2022 that says no, it doesn't affect the cables, all right? And then you have this one from space.com, which, these I believe is, they doing that, how Esau operates. He's setting it up so that people could think that it does damage the internet cable. So, he'll set it up from years ago, have different articles so that when we're getting ready to bring it out, people could just go on Google and Google it. And then they'll find them older articles that state that, basically, that backs up what Esau's agenda is. All right. So, all this is going to lead to is ultimately a famine of the Most High's word, because that's what Esau's worried about the most. Yeah, he's worried about the truthers too, bringing out, his agenda. But his main issue is basically having the prophets on the internet, because the prophets are waking up the elect of Israel. And that means his kingdom's downfall. Because once the elect wake up, the Most High is going to send his son Yahushua to deliver them and destroy America, Babylon the Great. And Esau is trying to stop that. But he's going to be unsuccessful because he doesn't stop the Lord's word. He doesn't stop the prophecies, man. The elect are going to keep waking up. As Yahushua said, let me get it. It's Matthew. It's lucky. Matthew chapter 24, verse... Let's see. No, it's up more. Let's see. Yep, this is 14. This is Matthew 24 and 14. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." So the gospel has been preached worldwide, and the way it's been done is through the internet. And as the apostles always say, the internet is doing the heavy lifting for us, so that we don't have to travel to them other far lands to teach them the gospel. They could just go on the internet, go on YouTube, and they'll come across the videos. That's how majority of us brothers woke up, is through the YouTube. That's how I woke up too, so that's what, is spreading out the word, broadcasting. That's what it's called, right? Broadcasting, which is what? You casting, the message to a broad audience, all right? And that's possible through the internet. And we know Psalms, the 19th chapter, is the internet scripture that goes into how it utters day unto day and night unto night, utters speech and knowledge, where the voice of the prophets is not heard. There's no place that their voice is not heard, all right? And even Paul said that the words went into all the world. So, they was all talking about this time, the prophets. So, going to the book of Amos. Where is it? Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua power." Yes, so the Lord is going to send a famine. And, of course, there will be a famine of bread and thirst for water. That's going to happen because that's part of prophecy. But the main famine that it's going to be for from the words of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Because when people are in dire situations, the word of the Lord is, more sustaining than actual food and water. Even Job said what? That he basically looked at the Most High's words as more than necessary food. Yahweh Shah said that a man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. All right? Because the word of the Lord is likened unto bread, it's likened unto corn, likened unto wine, likened unto oil, because it's nourishment for your soul. And having it basically nourishes your actual physical body. Because if you have the words of the Most High and you believe in them, you have faith, then the Most High provides for you due to your faith. So he'll make it to where everybody's starving, but then you eating good. This is why Isaiah 65 was written. The Lord said, "My servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry." All right, speaking of the 2/3, they're going to starve. All right, while the servants of the Most High eat. Elijah, he was fed by a raven for 3 years. He had a whole brook to himself while the rest of Israel was starving. And it was dehydrated, man. All right. So the Lord is going to give us that same preservation. Those were with the elect. But it says, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahshua shall not find it." So they're going to go to the areas that, the camps are at to try to get the word. But it's going to be too late. All right. Because the internet is going to get cut off. So they're not going to be able to find it online. If and when the internet comes back on, they're going to wipe all the different things that they don't want off of it. The internet they're going to introduce is going to be a brand new one. They're going to destroy this one and bring one that they could have total control over, where you need access to get into it, which is going to come in the form of a digital ID. All right. And when you get access, there's certain things you're not going to be able to get access to. You're only going to be able to get fed the information that they give you. All right. And they're going to get rid of the Bible online. They're going to get rid of all of that, man. They're going to get rid of anything that has to deal with the Most High and his son or the Israelites. So it says, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and they shall not find it. All right. So they ain't going to find it. And it says, "And in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst." They're going to have the thirst for this word, because when their fucking stomach is touching their backbone, that's all they're going to think about, man. It's, damn, why, God, why is this happening? Man, I wish, I could have the answers. Hey, look at the book of Eli. What was it all about? It was really about the elect in the last days, where he had the good book, right? the words of the Lord, the scriptures, the Bible. And he was traveling, and those words is what protected him. And everybody wanted a piece of it. They wanted to grab it. This dude, that wanted to kill him, was hunting them for it. He said, man, you don't understand, man. There's power in that book. Yeah, man, the word of the Lord is very powerful, man. All right? And people are going to realize that, man. And what's it saying? You basically, how you take things for granted. And then like when I forgot the exact saying, but when you take things for granted, you don't miss them until you don't have them anymore. All right? And that's what's going to happen with the word of the Lord. So now let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days come, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. Yeah, so in a great number. The World Economic Forum, they warned that next year, 2025, will be a year of multi-crises, all right? And they're expecting 70% of the global population to die off by next year. So what do you think is going to cause that? They're going to do their different collapses, economic collapse, the collapse of the food chain. This is what they're getting ready to do. And the way they're going to do that is by using Israel to attack Iran and start World War III. Because once that happens, Iran is going to hit the oil fields throughout the Middle East, right? And it's going to cause the energy supply of the earth to collapse, which is going to cause food prices to skyrocket. It's going to stop trade. It's going to stop boats from shipping things in and out. Countries are going to try to preserve their resources to themselves. That's what's going to happen, man. And that's going to cause global famines, more contentions, more countries, fighting over lands because they know times are rough. This is what's going to be a global war, a world war, World War III. All right. It says, and the way of truth shall be hidden. So the way of truth is this word, man. Having this understanding. All right. Because you could have the Bible, but if you don't have the right understanding, it's not going to make sense to you, man. All right. So the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Yeah, people in that time, they're going to resort to their false idols. Like it says in Isaiah 19, that the Egyptians, basically they're going to worship their idols and familiar spirits. They shall seek to the idols and familiar spirits. So you're going to have people that turn away from the Bible, that claim to be Christians. They're going to go into, them palm readers, them tarot card readers, the people that's dealing with the left hand, different witches, different warlocks, to try to, gain some form of appeasement, to get a blessing from Satan, to eat, to drink, they'll do whatever abominations to try to survive, man. All right. You're going to have people that was atheists resort to going to church, resort to going to different religions, but they ain't going to find the word of the Lord. The way of truth is going to be hidden. All right. And you're going to have people that straight up, religious turn into straight up atheists in that time. All right. It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that dies ere long ago. So the violence is going to keep increasing. It's going to keep intensifying on a day-to-day basis all over the world. All right. So it says, and the land which now which thou seest now to have root shall thou see wasted suddenly, which is the land of Israel. All right. The Lord is going to, waste that land. All right. And America as well, because we see in America now. So those are the only two lands that the Lord prophesied to annihilate. But Israel is going to be rebuilt by the elect. All right. So it's going to be wasted suddenly through World War III, through those nuclear missiles. It says, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day, and blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And the stone is Yahushua. We speaking the words of the Lord, all right? And eventually Yahushua is going to come himself, and he's going to have that war shout, all right? And people are going to be troubled, It says, and even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth, which is Yahweh Shah, when he returns on those ships, those chariots. People ain't looking forward to the Lord's coming, to so-called Jesus' second return. You know, people are not expecting that. They're not expecting a UFO invasion, you know, which are the chariots of the Lord. All right. So it says, and the fowl shall take away their flight away together. That's going to be because the missiles are going to hit. All right. It says, and the Sodom of the sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they all shall hear the voice thereof, which is the Sodom of the sea is America, Babylon, and the noise that they're making is their behavior, how they reacting, you know, how they, you know, transgress the laws of the Most High. All right. This is a new thing for all this wickedness to be spread in a kingdom, man. There was wickedness in ancient times, but not to this level, man. Where bestiality is allowed, anything goes, man. All right? People do it out in the open. Transgenderism. Okay? It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again. Yeah, so it's going to be confusion all over the earth. All right? People ain't going to know where all this hell came from. You know? Where one moment you're having a good time, you're partying, and then the next, you're in full-blown World War III, all right? Supply chain shortage, no food, all right? Economic collapse, you know, job losses, and it's just, you know, every man for himself, everybody for themselves, all right? Cannibalism, you know, people are going to be confused, like, yo, how the fuck did we get here? People ain't going to want to believe that they're actually living in this reality, man. They're going to think they're stuck in a nightmare, and it is going to be a nightmare. But it's going to play out in real life. So it says, and the fire shall be off sent out again. There's going to be more wildfires, terroristic attacks, right? You're going to have these terrorists doing bombings all over America, all over Europe, all right? You're going to have bombs being dropped from the wars, right? How you seen how Europe in World War II, how they were war-torn. Hey, man, this is how America and the rest of the world is going to look in that time, man. Missiles dropping on different cities, bombs, you know, chemical attacks, all right? It says, and the wild beasts should change their places. And they show you in the movie I Am Legend, right? Where they got Will Smith, where he was in the city, in New York City, you know, it was overgrown with grass and stuff like that, grass and vines. And then you had lions and deers running throughout the city, man. All right? And we got a prelude of that during the pandemic, where they showed how the lockdowns, animals start flourishing again. So it's going to be so many dead people that the animals are going to start inhabiting, you know, so-called human areas. And it says the wild beasts too. So you're going to have lions and bears, you know, moving in the cities. And that's going to be the spirit of the Lord on them. You know, the scriptures say the Lord has the animal spirits as vengeance, all right, against the wicked. So he's going to use bears, lions, tigers, whatever ferocious animals you could think of, the Lord is going to bring a plague of those. Like he brought the plague of lice upon the Egyptians, the plague of grasshoppers, all right? It says, and the plague of frogs too. It says, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, which is the deformities, the jabs that they done got. You know, children are being born deformed. And you got kill gates, you know, over there fucking with the food. So, hey, man, the babies, the newborns that's going to come in these generations, they're gonna look fucked up, man. And Esau's already tapping into DNA and all that BS. All right? So, they're going to look fucked up. It says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet. Yeah, so things are going to get very rough, man. All right? Imagine you got your water, but you can't drink it, you know, because it's poison. And they said that Iran basically targeted America's biggest water supply company, you know, where they could fuck with the levels of chemicals that's in there and basically poison people. All right? So, hey, man, that's going to take place too. All right? It says, and all friends shall destroy one another. Yahushua said, because the love of many Because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So that means people that's family, people that's familiar with each other, they're going to be at each other's throat for the last piece of bread that they have. Or to just eat them, you know? Because cannibalism is coming back in a big way. It says, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber. Wit is wisdom. So wisdom is going to hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber. That doesn't mean that, the Bible is going to be, hidden in a secret location, or how, in the book of Eli, he had that book and everybody was looking for it. No, man, you're going to still have Bibles available, but people ain't going to know to understand it. They ain't going to know where to go to give them comfort, to know what time of prophecy that they're at, or the right breakdowns. They ain't going to understand, all right? So it's going to withdraw itself by the elect, the prophets getting taken off the streets, all right? And the videos getting taken off from the internet. So it's going to be the truth is only going to reside, in the minds of the elect. It says, and shall be sought of many and yet not be found. So they're going to seek it, look it up on the internet, go in the corners where brothers is at, right? But they ain't going to find it. It says, then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. So people are going to get worse and worse. Once they realize the Lord is not answering them, they're going to wax worse and worse. They're going to have the mentality that God don't exist no more. This is why when you watch post-apocalyptic movies, you see different signs that people left behind saying God is dead. Because how can a righteous God, how can a God exist and allow this to take place, for the earth to go into shambles? Not understanding that our power, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, they're powers of judgment, not understanding that this was all prophesied, man. So they're going to wax worse and worse. People that, that's so-called nice now, or, that's, people that abide by the laws now, they're going to turn into straight up criminals, man. Murderers, kidnappers, cannibalists, and you're going to see the worst out of people in them times, man. All right? Because there ain't going to be no love in these streets. All right? So with that, I hope this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Achakodash. Peace and double honors to the apostles, the elders, the GMS that give us his truth, and all the spirituality, and salutations to all your occupation this word throughout the four corners of the earth, and sincerity in the truth.